And I was also struggling with my identity as a gay person in a world where we didn't have the kind of support that there is today. And thank God, I am so happy for young people today who are gay, who don't have to go through what I had to, you know. And I never was hidden about it. So I was a little bit ahead of the curve because I always felt if I felt like this, it must be normal. That whatever I feel, a human being feels, then it's normal. Even though there were all these things there that's normal and you couldn't talk about it. At least I was a little bit ahead of what a lot of my friends and I know my partner went through, which is feeling that it wasn't normal and trying to change. I didn't have that thing of wanting to change. But I did go through the whole thing of coming to grips with it all by myself and not having the support and not knowing where to go.
I am homosexual, and I was hoping to meet somebody to have sex with. There's also a memory I can't get quite clearly, but Berlin, of course, had been one of the homosexual centers of the world, and somebody had given me the address of a club in Berlin where I was told that homosexuals still met. And I think prior to meeting this young man on the street, I think I had gone to that club, and I was appalled. It was full of people like the Nazis on the train. Some even had some Nazi uniforms, but they really were people I wouldn't have been comfortable with in any way, shape, or form. And also, I think I had the feeling it's not safe to talk to anybody. So I really only stayed there about 10 minutes and left.
Did you understand what the prevailing attitude in Germany was towards homosexuality?
Not fully until then, because I knew that there had been the, what was it called, the beer hall putsch, engineered by Röhm, who was homosexual and who was arrested and executed along with his friends. But then I think as Hitler got more and more afraid of international espionage, I think they felt the homosexuals were dangerous, but I think they also felt they should be gotten rid of because of this slogan about purifying German blood or German inheritance.
What was the pink triangle?
The pink triangle was the piece of cloth sewed over, I think, the left breast, the way the yellow Star of David was sewed onto the clothing of every Jew.
Who wore the pink triangle?
The gay men.
Ich komme nach Hause, Mutti, ich habe meinen ersten Mann gehabt. Die Mutter blieb sitzen mit offenem Mund und ging sofort außer Haus. Später habe ich das herausbekommen. Sie ging zu ihren Schwestern. Nun musste die Familie sich doch beraten. Kommt zurück, und das ist das Wunderschöne oder das große Glück, was mich getroffen hat mit dieser Familie, und sagt: Junge, wir sind dran schuld. Dein Vater hat vor 2 Jahren von der Leipziger Spielwarenmesse dir einen Seppel mitgebracht, eine Männerpuppe. Und die haben wir dir ins Bett gelegt. Du bist ja 2 Jahre schon mit einem Mann im Bett gelegen. Sie haben die Schuld auf sich genommen. Und die ganze Familie wiederum suchte nun: Gott, haben wir ein interessantes Mitglied in der Familie, endlich mal was anderes. Und die Tanten kamen dann noch: Ach, hast du wieder einen schönen Freund. Der neulich war nicht so schön, muss ich dir sagen. Also die spielten das Spiel gleich mit. Ich bin heute der Meinung, für alle, die so empfinden, outen, wenn es geht in der Zeit der Familie. Die Familie steht hinter einem wie ein Koloss. Problemlos. Für mich gab es dann keine Probleme mehr.
I raised the issue of homosexuality one day because I took ballet lessons and the studio was quite near our house and I hung out there a lot and there were a number of homosexuals in the ballet. So I said something about it and my father interrupted me and said, we're going to change the subject now, but you come up to my study after dinner and we'll talk about it. So I went up to his study and he asked me what I knew about homosexuality. So I told him, and he said that it was something that nobody understood very well yet, and that a lot of people were critical of homosexuals, and that was wrong because nobody knew really why they were. And I was to treat homosexuals with respect just like everybody else. Well, I was already doing that because in the ballet it was taken for granted. But then he added, don't talk about it in front of your mother because it's too upsetting for her. And then he gave me a book by a woman called Radcliffe Hall, an English woman who wrote a book called The Wells of Loneliness, which is the first autobiography of a lesbian. And he told me to put it back on his bookshelf at night because he wouldn't want my mother to come across it. She'd be too upset.
So did you read it?
Did I? Sure, I read everything.
Why was your father so protective of your mother?
I think that all Dutch men were pretty protective of, at least all the Dutch men in the circles that my parents moved were quite protective of their wives. This was a long time before women's lib.